God, the pictures in here are great.
Yeah, but the ideas are better. Stay tuned for our top 5 tennis books.
Reading is enjoyable, insightful, and helpful.
Yeah.
Or so I'm told.
Yes, Josh isn't a big reader, are you?
Not really, no. I feel like I probably should read more. And if I was going to read more, I'd probably read tennis books.
Yep. Well, never fear, because I am a big reader, and I have gone through my bookshelves, and I've picked out the top 5 books to help you, the tennis player, essentially improve your game without leaving your bed. And that's pretty good, right?
So some of you may be sitting at home thinking, God, you guys are really struggling for content ideas, aren't you? And you may or may not be correct. However, top 5 books has been on the list for a long time, as one Ben has wanted to do, and feels like this is a soft launch into us top 5 reviewing other things, maybe not even tennis related, such as Christmas foods.
Yeah? What's number 1? Christmas food.
Pigs in a blanket.
Pigs in blankets, straight away. There you go. God, that would be a controversial video, wouldn't it, if we did top 5? Yeah.
Anyway, back to books, because apparently they're important.
Yeah, well, the whole point is, and the reason why I want to do this is that in any book, there is going to be a little bit of gold along the way. And we've been coaching for 20 years now, and a lot of the coaching that we do has been derived from things that we've read along the way. And it doesn't necessarily have to be tennis books, and there'll be a couple in here that aren't. And the idea is that if you can just find a little piece of beautiful information, a little idea, just whilst you're sitting at home reading a book, that is an easy win as far as I'm concerned.
If I wrote a book, do you think there'd be gold in it?
Yeah. You weren't expecting me to say yes, though, were you?
Maybe I should bring out the Josh Stokes book on all things tennis.
Yeah, there you go. Subscribers can get
No, can't get any discounts.
No, there we go.
Don't do discounts. That's golden rule number 1. No discounts.
There you go. Right, so shall we crack on with number 5?
Sure. One of the most popular Christmas gifts is an autobiography. And tennis players are by no means shy at writing about their life, their training, their accomplishments, and of course their horrible fathers.
Yes, it is a very common theme that the parents aren't necessarily the nicest people.
You're going to have a tennis player child, aren't you?
Well, maybe not, because I'm nice. Yeah, we go. So there is plenty to choose from. There's plenty I've read as well. We've got James Blake, very interesting. Pete Sampras, Andre Agassi, very famous one, Andre Agassi, and obviously Serena's, but there are hundreds to choose from. The reason they're at number 5, I don't really like autobiographies.
But like people, likes ideas.
Yeah, it's just I don't care what you thought about so-and-so, but every now and again you do find these little bits of gold along the way. I was just off camera explaining to our producer behind the camera there that there's actually a line in Clive Woodward's autobiography, which I use when I'm coaching all the time. Clive Woodward was an England rugby manager, and his big thing was your first ball might be your best ball. So just because it's the first minute of the game doesn't mean it's any less valuable than the last minute of a game. And quite often, especially in team sports, you get this idea of settle in, get a touch on the ball. And his whole point was, no, go for it straight out the gate. And the applications to tennis are incredibly important because your first chance to break serve might come in the very first game, might be the only one you get. So even a rugby autobiography can translate into tennis. Obviously, tennis ones are going to have more gold in there for you to go for.
Yeah, Clive Wood was very interesting because he sort of professionalised rugby in the UK. He didn't have an office when he first started and got an office, and obviously led England to World Cup glory 2003, so good man.
There you go. So in at number 5, essentially any autobiography, but tennis one's probably good. And the best one is James Blake's, by the way.
We are now on to book number 4, and I'm looking at the list of books in front of me, and I have no idea what this one is.
Yes, there's an author called Daniel Coyle, and he has nothing to do with tennis.
Excellent.
He is the author.
Why not appear in a tennis YouTube channel then?
Yeah, exactly. So he is the author who wrote The Talent Code, which was the book that popularised the 10,000 hour rule that you've all heard proposed by hundreds and thousands of people over and over and over. And this was the book that sort of brought it to the public consciousness. This is because the actual book was written by Anders Ericsson, and it's very dry. Very, very dry.
He took like a really good idea and just amped up, kind of what we do.
Yes, exactly. So The Talent Code is his most famous book, and that has got things, and it does talk about the Spartak Moscow Tennis Club, which is where Safina, Tursunov, I'm going to miss some out. I'm going to stop before I start naming players just who are Russian and played a few years ago. But ultimately, a very, very successful club, and how they went about it, and how you get the 10,000 hours out of players. So there's a load of information about inspiration and how success from one player can literally influence an entire generation who follow.
20-year generations of why Brazil have always got a good football team, because they're always repeatedly inspired by the previous.
Yes, but he has a couple of spin-off books as well called The Culture Code and The Little Book of Talent, which the Little Book of Talent in particular has got lots of little things that you can use on court, just ideas to essentially improve your practice and your training. But yeah, anything by Dan Cole I couldn't recommend highly enough.
Book number 3 is How to Eat, Move and Be Healthy by Mr. Paul Chek of the Czech Institute.
Yeah, and you actually know a bit about this one, don't you? This is one book you have read.
So, to be honest, although I haven't read it cover to cover, I have sort of dipped in and out. And this is a book all about, as it suggests, how to eat, how to move, and to generally how to be healthy. It has things about sleeping patterns. So it's not tennis specific, but it certainly is very helpful if you want to have a longevity of your tennis career at any level, to make sure that you are stretching and mobilizing correctly, that you're fueling your body correctly, and you are moving in the gym correctly too. If you think, that sounds great, but I want it to be more specific, well, boy, do we have the answer for you.
This one's for you, Lee.
Mr. Lee Brandon co-authored this book called The Tennis Biomechanics Manual with Paul Chek. It takes all the physical ideas from how to eat, move and be healthy and others, and puts them into a lovely book, very full of detail. We've got pictures, we have everything you need to know about how to do the exercises correctly, safely, and to make sure they are tennis specific.
Yeah, and this
sounds like a sales video, but I'm not selling it, honestly. You can't buy it anymore.
So this sort of speaks to a bigger issue that we find in tennis and in coaching, is that all of you guys sitting there watching these videos are trying to maximize your performance. We're trying to get the best racket, make sure it's, we've got people weighing shock absorbers to make sure everything's exactly right, editing the tension, but not having any thoughts about themselves and their body and essentially their performance, right?
Yeah.
If you get better at tennis, and we've got a lot of players who play with us who are very good tennis players who finish a game of tennis with a beer and a walk home, right? That's not going to help you keep playing tennis day after day after day. And the better you get, you do need to start considering your health, your physical performance, and How to Eat, Move and Be Healthy is the absolute best place to start. Really, really practical, loads of good advice. And then if you're a bit more serious and you want to get in the gym, this is the book you need. Written by tennis players, for tennis players. And if you don't like reading, Josh has alluded to already, it's full of pictures, which is maybe why he has read this one.
I do like illustrations. Big fan of Enid Blyton.
Yeah. Enid Blyton, ref?
My age when I did actually read books. In at number 2, it's getting exciting, it's getting important. This is a book that you should definitely have read.
I reckon Winning Ugly is probably going to be the most read book on this list. I imagine a lot of people will have already read this one.
Number 1's pretty popular.
Yeah, so Winning Ugly, Brad Gilbert, famous for being a tactical mastermind, you could say.
Yeah, I mean,
maximising his performance. Yeah.
Gamesmanship and maximising performance is a nice way of putting it. Yeah, using the tools at your disposal and maximising those rather than trying to do what you can't.
Yes, exactly. There is brilliant stories about how he would sort of unpick and unravel professional tennis players in here. There is amazing practical advice about how to warm up and how to start a game, what to look for in opponents, what to think about for yourself. Ultimately, if you're trying to win tennis matches and you haven't read this book, you're not really doing everything you possibly could.
You should read it, then you might be able to beat me.
Yeah, there you go. If you've ever had a lesson with us, you will recognise the first 5 minutes because it is from this book directly. And this sort of speaks to a larger point, and something I did want to get across in this video, is that your coaches should be reading and researching and looking stuff up. You don't have to, because I do. It's fine. Here you go. We won't hear. But this is the point. Like, there's always a good question to ask, and we often get asked, well, how do I know if a coach is any good or not, or how do I know someone's worth listening to? If you ask them why and they don't have an answer, That's a pretty big red flag.
Yep.
Another great question is, what's the last new thing they learned?
I would say it was a lot of book you read.
Yeah.
Enid Blyton.
Harry Potter. Yeah. But yeah, Winning Ugly, really, really good. Couldn't recommend it highly enough. And if you're just sort of, I don't really care about being healthier, and I don't really care about, the theory behind learning and talent and stuff, I just want to win more tennis matches, this is the place to go.
In at number 1, it is a book that is repeatedly talked about. People always harp back to some of its themes, and one that you probably expected to be on the list.
It's The Inner Game by Timothy Galway. Josh is right, I think this book was written in the 80s, I want to say 86. So this book has been around for years and years and years. There's a few other versions now. I think there's The Inner Game of Golf, The Inner Game of so many other things. And this book is talked about by elite coaches in almost every sport. Steve Kerr, head coach of the Golden State Warriors in basketball, Pete Carroll and Sean McVay, who are NFL coaches, they are students of Timothy Galway himself. And there is so much information here about how you learn, how to judge yourself when you're playing, how to keep your main focused, tricks, tips, understanding. It is absolutely rammed full of gold, and you can tell it's well written. Josh just picked it up. He literally can't put it down.
Yeah, so it's all about this. It's just good stuff.
What page are you on?
22.
There you go. Page 20.
I'm on page 23 now.
Yeah.
Quick reader.
Yeah. If you are interested in understanding why you get so cross, why you can't learn that new thing, why...
That's what I was just reading about.
Yeah.
About self-reflection.
Self-reflection. If you're trying to teach someone else, if you've got young kids, if you're trying to just understand yourself, this is the place to start.
Save your money on therapy, buy The Inner Game of Tennis.
Yeah. Again, almost all of our coaching has informed, or at least is sort of draped over the framework laid out by The Inner Game.
I would describe it much like Billie Jean King as her tennis Bible.
Yeah, there you go.
So books are good. You can learn from them, you can enjoy them, and you can get better at tennis from them.
Yeah, and that's the key, right? If you can't do anything else, you can get better just by reading some of these top 5 books.
So Ben, to conclude, obviously you put The Inner Game of Tennis as your number 1, because I'm going to call this Ben's top 5 book list. I can't really be involved in the ranking. If someone's going to read a book on tennis, would this be the one you'd go for?
Yes, 100%. Or Winning Ugly. I would say if you are very performance-minded, quite analytical, you like your maths and your logic, Winning Ugly.
Yeah.
If you're a bit more into, a bit more left brain psychology, trying to understand yourself, a bit more arty and type, I'd go for The Inner Game. If you're just a tennis fan, start the Autobiographies and just try and find some gold.
Tennis fan, that's nice. I was going to be much meaner about the sort of people who'd enjoy these.
Yeah.
But there you go.
Oh, what simpletons.
Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this top 5 and think, God, you guys should do top 5 on other things, then let us know what we should do.
With actually a couple of ideas coming soon you don't know yet.
Excellent.
There you go.
Maybe it'll be something I know about.
Yeah.
Bye.
Oh, honourable mention is Patrick Mouratoglou. I want to do a cutaway of just chucking it into a bin.
Have we got it?
Yeah, Joe bought it for me for Christmas.